sharpen your blade, and prepare for battle. This is the motto of Kyoryugen, a rising side character in Blue Lock. After Blue Lock vs Japan U20, Eagle devised a plan to help Japan catch up to world-class top U20 teams. This plan was the Neo Egoist League. The Blue Lockers were split into 5 teams from the 5 great Euro leagues: England, France, Italy, Japan, and England. They were split into 9 players on each team, and they had to rank in the top 23 bidding to be able to progress to the next level and make the team. This league not only values strikers, but players in general. You can rank however far you are depending on your capabilities and your skill. However, if you fail to rank into the top 23 or the top 20 and you lose, Kaneshiro hasn't talked about what will happen to you, but it's likely elimination. And to speak on this elimination, I'm speaking on Kiora, the faulty blade of Blue Lock, and many other side characters who don't care about the progression in the soccer league. The New Egoist League is a final showdown between all strikers to show who will be the top players at the end. For the second notion, the players should be trying their hardest to reach new levels, trying to increase their stat overall, whether it's by shooting more, getting more physically fit, any means necessary. And even if they can't start, they still need to position themselves to where they'll be valuable to have off the bench as a sub-in. However, it's been a weird flaw in the Neo Egoist League. Some characters either outright don't care, or it's just clear that they're not putting in a lot of effort to make sure that they're able to play and progress. As per usual for Blue Lock, elimination is not a simple thing. That means they can't play in the Japan U20, the biggest event of their soccer careers they've made, and they can't continue playing in Japan. Despite all of these risks of failure, some people just do not care. The character I want to highlight today though is Kiora. Kaneshiro created and showed us Kiora's character profile. It showed us his stats sheet showing he was an 80 overall with surprisingly high stats. Showed he was 17 years old, and one of his likes is that he likes being provoked. He gets excited at the thought of crushing his opponents, and he likes holding grudge against people. Very clear that he's combative. You got to see his personality during episode Nagi. Episode Nagi showed that he's a little bit of delinquent, demanding stuff when he wants it, and he'll challenge you if you try to fight back. Challenging Nagi for a room that he didn't reserve, and willing to duel it out and win. However, this delinquency and love of battle is not shown in the main manga. During chapter 230 of Blue Lock, a famous event happened. Hiyori was subbed into the game of Basamuchin vs Ubers. And while I love this for Hiyori, this put a big spell on Kiora as a character. The league is simply the biggest chance that any of these players have ever had in their life. Against world-class teams of other countries, showcasing Japan and their new strength. With this motivation and this high goal, you would believe that everybody would be desperate to get on the team and they'd be trying their hardest. However, unlike Kiora's personality that we've seen, which is a delinquent that is willing to challenge people, he falls back and lets Tagesagi take the wheel. Basamuchin is a team about rationality and logic. And logically speaking, Noah always puts people in based on their stats. Hiyori had an 80 overall, with really good shooting stats, so it showed his value. Hiyori was ranked lower in value than him, so that must mean Hiyori had a sub 80 stat overall during that game. This is 30 days into Neo Egoist League, so that means after 30 days of training, Hiyori was not able to breach 80 overall, which is why he was not even a contestant for being put into the match. On knowing this, Kiora, instead of challenging Isagi and telling them, no, I want to play in this match, he lets Isagi take the reign and lets Hiyori go through. And while this might look like he just doesn't care and he doesn't want to fight over it, you have to put into perspective what they're fighting for. They're fighting for the biggest chance of their lives. If they don't make the team, they are kicked out of Blue Lock and they will not be able to play for Japan. However, if they make this team, top clubs give them sponsorships and they can go anywhere in the world after the T20. This is the best chance in the world to really push their footballing career to new heights, as shown for people like Baro, Ren, Chigiri, all of them getting $1 million bets from these top teams. Which brings us to the question, why does Kiora not care about getting subbed out? And why does none of the other side characters really show their desperation to make it to their last games? Funny enough, the only character that has shown desperation is Igaguri, because he realizes that this is the last game and if he doesn't make an impact, he will not make the team. Why would Kiora ruin his own chances of making the team? He's already missed 2 games. People already have 30 million bids at ranked 23. Can he make enough at one play to make it to the top level? He would have to dominate this game to put on a showcase to prove that he's worth bidding on. And while I believe he'll do a good job, Can you do a good enough job to rank 40 million in one match? I don't believe so. This is not to say that Kiora is worse than some of these people. Kiora could be better than Raichi. He could be better than Zantetsu maybe. However, this is about accumulation. Regardless of how good you do in one match, you'll never be able to pass Chigiri. You'll never be able to pass Aryu. And the same goes for other characters. I don't believe they have enough of a chance to make the team. What the NEO arc feels like to me is Kanashiro's attempt at weeding out all the side characters that he didn't want to write about. And while that's okay, proper execution is needed during these type of moments. I believe it's a given that side characters should be fleshed out more. Blue Lock especially has been a series that has been side character dominant mainly, to the point where more fans select the side characters over the main character. Whether it's Nagi, Baro, Chigiri, Rin, Shido, all of them have gained overwhelming levels of popularity that rival Isagi or go past them. However, these side characters that aren't in the favorite cast, the dregs left over from the other teams after second selection, they have gotten no shine, per se. While it's okay to have characters that you want to cut, you have to do a good job at cutting them. Even if Kanashiro doesn't want to flesh them out too much, we should be able to see them go for despair. We should see some of them overcoming adversity. We should see some of them reactions to making the team, getting benched, getting subbed out. There should be at least little snippets of these characters to show their progression, similar to second selection. Even though second selection had heavy favorites, we've seen the reactions of some characters getting eliminated, some characters struggling to keep on, and that's a beautiful inclusion of the disparity of Blue Lock, the realness of what it really is, the survival games where the best striker comes out. While given, obviously this has changed to a degree. The best players are the only ones who will come out of Blue Lock, and if you aren't a best player, you should be worried currently. The biggest thing Eagle wanted to instill into these players was a sense of self and a sense of hunger. Showcasing some of the top strikers, and you show that you need the hunger, the ego, the drive to make it to these levels. And at this moment, with this core is 45, everybody should have a certain level of hunger. While there are exceptions, some people have enough skill to bypass that hunger, like Hiyori, and some people are for comedic value or they're meant to fail, like Igaguri. Despite the exceptions, somebody, especially like Kiora, should have the overwhelming sense of hunger to want to fight for his chances, fight for his goals, fight for his opportunities. And to let Isaki control your opportunities like that, I feel like it's bad execution from Kanashiro. Especially during chapter 264, Death, Death, Life. We saw in the beginning of the chapter a little bit more information on Kiora Jin. All throughout his life, he's had multiple times where he stood at the boundary. When he was being born, his mother suffered a serious illness where she had a 50% chance of living. But despite that, Kiora Jin was still born into the world. Following that, even as a kid, his brothers would make him pick sides, and he was always aiming for the one that's more advantageous towards himself. He believes whichever side he allies with will win, that his presence determines the victor, and that this is his fighting spirit and his way of life. Even in Blue Lock, you would believe that somebody who has crossed the boundary of life and death so much would understand their situation and fight for their opportunities, especially like when Isagi subbed them out. Even if he does win this decision, if he still makes the team is up for debate. Again, getting your placement is based off of accumulation. Some people are good enough to rise through the ranks in one match, but it's still tough to say if he's one of them. And to put further spotlight on these other side characters. These other characters, they're smiling, they're laughing, but what is there to laugh about? If they don't make this team, they're cut from Blue Lock. Now there is ways to work around this. Kanashiro might just make it so even though they lose, they don't get kicked out. There's about 50 days left of Blue Lock, and in these 50 days, it's questionable what might happen. I believe it'll just be teamwork synergy and working between what could be different comps. However, maybe there's a redemption arc for those characters that are on the elimination list and they don't actually get eliminated. If that ends up being the case and Kanashiro finds a new way to use these other characters, then I'm all for it. I don't have that much faith, but I'm interested to see what Kanashiro will do with his execution. And just a PSA, I don't have any hate for Kiora or any of the side characters. I actually like Kyora's theme and his blade thematic a lot. However, I'm just questioning Kanashiro's execution skills, as we've seen during NEL has been a little bit faulty. And I don't know exactly what he has in store for Kiora, but it does not seem positive, at least so far. Hope y'all liked the video. There's many more to come. I really like this idea of doing little breakdowns of characters, how authors portray them, if they execute them well. But many more reviews, character breakdowns, genre breakdowns, many more to come. I hope you guys liked. If you did, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on it. And let me know what y'all want me to cover next. Whether it's a Blue Lock character, or if it's just any character or shonen in general. Or like shoujo, anything really.